Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the title, this is going to be a little recipe video. Cooking with me, I don't know, just let's figure out what we're doing and make something yummy video. I know I said I was gonna do some type of cooking video coming up, so here's another one. I know you guys love watching them and following along with the recipes. The last one was the banana bread recipe that I made and you guys loved that, so I decided this one's going to be a savory video and I'm going to be making basil turkey meatballs. Also, before we get started, if you haven't already, follow my Instagram. I'll put it right here, and then make sure you guys are subscribed and you like this video. Alright, let's get started. So the recipe I'm just kind of making up on the fly. This is something that sounded good to me and I decided to make it on my own. So this is just kind of like my measurements and my, I don't know, my flavors that I'm putting together. So yeah, I hope you guys like it, and here's everything that you're gonna need for this recipe, and I'm always putting the recipe in the description so you guys can get the recipe directly from there. But I'm gonna do a little overview so you guys can follow along. So here's everything you're gonna need to make turkey basil meatballs. So I have 1 pound of extra lean ground turkey breast, and then I have some eggs, ground thyme, black pepper, paprika, parsley, ground oregano and chili powder, and then salt and pepper, and then fresh basil. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take some fresh basil. I'll probably take about half this package, so like a good little bunch of it, and I'm just going to cut it up into small little slices so that way they're not too big for each meatball. So I'm just going to break off the leaves and then roll them up and slice them. So just rolling it up like that, kind of like a little roll. And then I'm just going to slice it. So this is what it should look like after you finish chopping it all up. At first I just did a little chiffon cut, and then I just chopped it up into little small pieces, and that way they're not too big when I put them into the meatballs. And then I think this looks like about maybe a 1/4 cup. Alright, so now that I've got all of the basil chopped up, I'm gonna add in the turkey. I'm gonna put the turkey into this bowl and then get all the spices mixed in. One pound of turkey. I use extra lean, but you can use whichever fat percentage you want. I just like it more lean. And then I'm gonna add all the basil. It's been a little easier to go around the bowl, but okay. So now that that's added, I'm going to start putting all the different spices in and the seasonings. So the first one, let's see what I'm gonna use first. Paprika. Probably do 1 teaspoon. Yeah, let's do 1 teaspoon of paprika. I'll add some nice color to take the little lid off because it doesn't fit. So I'm just gonna do 1 teaspoon of paprika. I'm doing 2 scoops because the 1 teaspoon doesn't fit into the glass. I will do chili powder. That smells good. I'll do a 1/2 teaspoon of that because I want it to be a little bit spicy. Ground oregano. 1 teaspoon of this. I think it should fit. No, it doesn't fit. I'm gonna do 2 of these. Kind of a heaping, because I like the flavor of that. Woo. And then we'll do a 1/2 teaspoon of thyme. That's probably good because it's almost out, so I think there's about a 1/2 left. A 1/2 teaspoon. So that's going in. And then we'll do some parsley. I just got a new one and it smells so good. It's so fresh. It's amazing how long you have spices in your cabinet. You don't really realize how long you've had them. So I decided to get a new one of this. Parsley, let's do a 1/2 teaspoon, more or less. And then salt. We'll do 1 teaspoon of this. Goes in, and then black pepper. We'll do a 1/2 teaspoon. Gives it a little extra spice. So I'm going to just take my spatula. I'm gonna mix this all together. But before I do that, I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. Here's all of the spices, the basil, and the 1 pound of ground turkey. I forgot to add 1 egg, so I'm gonna grab that and then just add it before I mix everything together. So I've got everything all mixed, or all added into the bowl, and now I'm just gonna mix it together. I don't wanna mix it too much because then the meat can get a little bit tough. So I'm just gonna mix it until the spices and salt and pepper, all that stuff are combined, and I'll show you the process. All right, in order to combine it a little bit better, I'm just gonna set the spatula aside and I'm gonna start mixing with my hands. Now it's all mixed together, as you guys can see. So now I'm just gonna wash my hands and then we're gonna get to scooping. So I just got everything all mixed up, as you guys saw in the clip before. It's smelling like fresh basil and all the different spices, and I'm really excited to get it onto the stove because it's smelling nice and fresh. But I'm just gonna take a ice cream scoop. I'm using like a medium-sized one, just so that they're all consistent. I usually like using these just because they're more consistent and they all can cook at the same time if they're all the same size. So I'm gonna start to scoop them now. can see, they're nice and uniform. I ended up with one little baby meatball because I didn't want to waste any extra leftovers in the bowl, so I just made like a little tiny one. So I guess I'll be able to taste that one a little bit sooner because it will cook faster than the rest. So I'm gonna head over to the stove and get these babies into the pan. So I just got the heat going. I have it on medium high, and I'm just gonna let the pan heat up, and I'm gonna add some cooking spray. That way the meatballs don't stick. And I'm just gonna let that get nice and hot before I add the meatballs in, because I want them to get a nice brown, crispy outside. And so I'm just gonna wait for that to heat up, and then I'm gonna add them in. Okay, so it's been about 2 or 3 minutes, and I've had the heat on medium high, and I've added the cooking spray in, and I think it's hot enough for the meatballs to go in, so I'm gonna add them now. Now that I've added all the meatballs in, I just turned the heat down to like medium. That way they're not browning too quickly, and I'm just gonna do a couple minutes on each side. So I just rotated them again, so that was like the 3rd time that I've rotated them, and they're looking nice and brown and golden. And it smells amazing in here. Guys, I wish you could smell it. But the good thing is, you guys are gonna make this recipe and you'll be able to smell it for yourself, so it's a win-win. But in the meantime, I'm gonna start making some steamed artichokes. That was the side that I wanted to make with the meatballs. I think it's kind of a light, refreshing thing to go with the meatballs. So I'm just gonna start prepping that, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. This is the way that I like to make them. I'm not sure if there's like a proper way to make artichokes, but this is the way that I like to make them. So I'm just gonna show you guys how to do it. I just have 2 artichokes, and then I have some kitchen scissors, and I'm just gonna take the little ends of the artichoke off. I'm gonna cut them because those are the spiky parts. I don't know if you guys can see these little spikes, and so I'm just gonna snip the tops off of them as best I can. They're probably gonna go flying everywhere, but what can you do? This is what it looks like when it's all cut, as you guys can see. Nice and clean. Oh, I missed one right there. Okay, so this is what it looks like after you're done cutting them all, and this is before. Definitely the much better way to go. So I'm gonna start on the second one, and I'll see you guys in a second. All right, so I have both of the artichokes nice and cut, and now I'm just gonna take my knife and I'm going to cut the tops off of both of them and clean up all of the little clips of artichoke that are all over the counter. So nice. Alright, so I've got both of the artichokes trimmed and I cut the tops off. Now I'm just gonna cut up a lemon. I'm just gonna cut it into like a couple pieces, just doesn't have to be anything fancy. I'm just gonna drop it into the boiling water, which I already started earlier because that takes a little bit of time to start and I'm starting to get hungry, so I decided to let the water start to boil earlier. And then I'm just gonna add a couple of extra little seasonings to the water, which I'll show you guys in a second. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna cut up this lemon and then we're gonna head over to the stove. Just gonna roll it a little bit and then cut it in half. And then cut it in half again. Same with this one. And we're good to go. I have some bay leaves that I just bought. Where did I put those? Over here. So I just got some bay leaves and I'm just gonna add some salt to the water, and then I'll add 2 bay leaves. Nice herby flavor or scent. Something interesting. I'm gonna add 2 bay leaves, 1 lemon, and then some salt. And that's basically it. All right, so I'm here at the stove. I decided to add a teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning to the water. I have 2 bay leaves, and then the 1 lemon I cut up, and the 2 artichokes. And I'm just gonna drop everything in and let it boil. So it's pretty simple, and it's lots of flavor, and something I think will go really well with the turkey meatballs. So I'm gonna get this cooking so everything will be ready very soon. The meatballs have been cooking for maybe 8 or 10 minutes, and I think they're all done now. So I'm just gonna take them out of the pan and I'm just gonna put them in a little bowl and cover them with some foil until the artichokes are done, and then we're ready to eat. So I've had the artichokes cooking for about 20 to 25 minutes now, and I think they're all done. I just checked them and it's nice and steamy. You wanna see what they look like? A lot of the water has evaporated, but that's totally fine because they're done cooking. You don't need to worry about that. Whoa, camera's foggy. I'm going to take them out and put them in a little bowl. All right, guys, it's the big reveal. Everything's all cooked. I got the artichoke out of the pan, or out of the boiling liquid, and then I put it onto a nice plate, and I have the meatballs here in a bowl. And then I also just got a bowl of jasmine rice that I thought would be nice to serve the meatballs with. That way it adds some nice flavor to it and a nice little texture. So I was thinking also if you wanted to top it with some avocado, or that's what I would definitely do. I already had a bowl of it and I put avocado on top. I couldn't wait, and it tastes unbelievable. So let me show you guys how to plate it up. Right, so I'm just gonna take a couple of the turkey meatballs and I'm gonna put it on top of the rice. I think that would just be nice and yummy. And let's do a better sized one. So this is my ideal meal. It's so good, guys. While the artichokes were cooking, I plated up some for myself and I ate it. And I loved it. It was so good. This is definitely one of my favorite meals. I'm so glad that it turned out as well as it did. I hope you guys make this. I know that you guys are gonna enjoy it. Let me show you an up close of what it looks like. The basil is so fresh and you can smell it. My whole kitchen smells like fresh basil, and then the artichokes, just serve that with a little bit of fresh lemon to squeeze on top and maybe some salt and pepper. And that is definitely one of my favorite sides to go with a meal like this. It's perfect for summer. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment something below that you want me to make next, or another type of video that you guys have in mind. Make sure you're subscribed and you comment, comment, like, subscribe, all of those fun things on YouTube. And then if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's right here, and I have it linked in the description so you guys can follow along on my daily escapades. So I hope you guys make this recipe, and if you do, or when you do, tag me on Instagram and I'll post it on my story. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my next video, and that's gonna be very soon. I hope you guys have a good day, night, wherever you guys are from. I'll see you guys in my next video.